Welcome to Becoming X-Aware. Here we explore how the process of becoming contributes to self-deception and work on detaching from it to unlock endless possibilities. Join us on this journey of discovery and transformation. Together, let's focus on purpose in motion, your journey to living fully.
In this episode, we'll explore the metaphor of W.A.R. not as destruction but as an acronym for the emotional, mental, and social pressures that shape us. It's the battle between what holds us back and what propels us forward. We'll deeply ponder questions like: what is the lower self, and how does it keep us trapped? What does it mean to go beyond the mind and into the heart? And how can we recognize and rise above this internal conflict? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to keep exploring life's biggest questions with us. Hit that notification bell to stay connected. Let's embark on this journey together.
Welcome, seekers, thinkers, and dreamers, to today's episode of the War Room, Strategies for Life Mastery. Today, we will examine the layers of the human experience to uncover a truth we often ignore: the battles we fight within ourselves. Have you ever felt the tug-of-war between your desires and doubts? The clash of your highest aspirations against the weight of past experiences? What if I told you this isn't just a struggle, it's a war, one we all face, yet rarely name? In this episode, we'll explore the metaphor of W.A.R. not as destruction but as an acronym for the emotional, mental, and social pressures that shape us. It's the battle between what holds us back and what propels us forward. We'll deeply ponder questions like: what is the lower self, and how does it keep us trapped? What does it mean to go beyond the mind and into the heart? And how can we recognize and rise above this internal conflict? Today's episode, a conversation that might change how you see yourself. W.A.R. is an acronym representing three distinct stages of our inner struggle. And here's the catch: it's not about winning or losing in the traditional sense. It's about understanding the conflict, the process, and the transformation that follows. In this episode, we'll uncover what W.A.R. means. W represents wrestling, the stage where doubt and desire collide. It's where the push and pull of choices can leave us stuck. W represents weariness, the fatigue of constantly putting up a front. It's exhausting to act a certain way to avoid feeling isolated or different. W represents want, having a desire to possess or do something wished for. What is needed is that we must learn to discern between need and want. Needs are essential for survival and well-being, while wants are things that can improve the quality of life but are not necessary. A for acceptance. This is where the real struggle lies. It's the tug-of-war between embracing your true self and seeking external validation. You want to be your authentic self, but at the same time, you fear rejection. A for ashamed. You are embarrassed or guilty because of your actions. You are reluctant to do something because of fear. You are fearful and dare not to be different. A for awakening. When clarity breaks through the fog, and we begin to see the patterns that have held us back. R represents resistance, the final piece of the acronym. This is the part of you that resists letting go of the masks. It tells you to act a certain way to fit in. It's the internal block that keeps you from being genuinely vulnerable. R represents resolution, a firm decision to do or not to do something. One must be resolute to overcome W.A.R. R represents rebirth, the final stage, where transformation takes root, and we emerge stronger, wiser, and more aligned. Each stage isn't just a challenge, it's a vital part of growth. W.A.R., this is more than an acronym, it's a journey we all take. And today, we are breaking it down, piece by piece. So, whether you are wrestling with uncertainty, on the verge of awakening, or ready for a rebirth, this episode is for you. Are you ready to uncover the W.A.R. within and embrace the power of transformation? Let's begin. Now imagine this W.A.R being fought in your mind every day. The tension is between the image you project and the deeper, more authentic self you want to show. This internal conflict creates a strain and manifests as emotional exhaustion, self-doubt, and loneliness. Before I continue, let's provide an antidote. Can we do that? Exploring the qualities of nothingness brings forth ideas of surrender, balance, and interconnectedness, each countering the destructive qualities often associated with W.A.R. Exploring the concept of nothingness reveals profound qualities that act as antidotes to the destructive forces often associated with W.A.R, weariness, resistance, shame, and inner conflict. Here's how nothingness transforms our perspective. When considering nothingness, surrender does not mean defeat. It represents letting go of control and releasing the need to battle with ourselves. Surrendering allows us to strip away the masks and pretense, creating space for authenticity and self-acceptance. It's about relinquishing the fight against who we are and embracing the simplicity of being. Nothingness embodies equilibrium. As we walk through life's experiences, the higher self alerts us when we move through them stressfully and blindly. If allowed, it will immediately bring about correction. At this point, we will place both feet on the ground, ensuring that balance has been regained. Also, nothingness reminds us that we are part of a larger whole and not dissolving the illusion of separateness. It helps us understand that the internal battle isn't isolated, it's influenced by and impacts our relationships, environments, and communities. This awareness fosters compassion, both for ourselves and others, countering the loneliness and alienation that often accompany the struggles of W.A.R. While W.A.R thrives on tension, division, and struggle, the nothingness is that space, a pause, a distant dimension. Nothingness is an experience when one is transported and dematerialized from the current location. While undergoing this process, something unfamiliar occurs. The self allows the lower self to know by being absorbed into its beginning. When it was the energy that had been manifested into particles, absent of time and space, where nothing and everything exist without labels, associations, and forms. You are the nothingness. By embracing surrender, balance, and interconnectedness, we dissolve the inner conflict and replace it with a sense of wholeness. In essence, exploring the qualities of nothingness reveals the possibility of transcending the fight altogether, opening the door to a life of greater harmony and purpose. Just as a physician sees a patient who is presenting with symptoms, in this case, the symptoms of war, to heal the patient, one must consider the root cause of this state of disease. An assessment must be done subjectively as well as objectively, otherwise, we are simply alleviating symptoms and not arriving at a cure. Let's take a break and begin detaching. It is time to cogitate.
Open the books of your mind today. What knowledge should we have, and how should it be used? In antiquity, not everyone could be given knowledge because of the limited access to education, which was often restricted by social class, gender, and economic status. With only the privileged elite having the opportunity to learn and acquire knowledge through formal schooling or mentorship. Let's absorb the know-how to free ourselves.
Let's look deeper. We have witnessed in our lives the various causes that permeate our psychological world and have lived the consequences for doing so. Now let's explore how we can root out these self-imposed unhealthy responses that our conditioned programming has stored with antidotal approaches. Starting with ego dissolution, W.A.R, at its root, often stems from the human ego, the need to dominate, to be right, and to gain power or resources. Nothingness in this context is the dissolution of the ego. By recognizing that the ego is an illusion, individuals and societies can move beyond the mindset that breeds conflict. This state of nothingness does not explain Sartre's thoughts. In later videos, Sartre's thoughts will be explored. Taking the path of acceptance, W.A.R, which is the opposite of harmony, will allow you to disrupt natural rhythms. When we contrast the two states, nothingness aligns with acceptance, facilitating that we might discover a cure for the ailment of W.A.R. When considering a non-Western approach, the Taoist idea of Wu-Wei, or action through inaction, the non-Wei, is a path to peace where one doesn't resist the natural order but moves with it. When people and societies adopt this principle, they release the need to control, dominate, or overpower others. The natural flow of life, then, leads away from conflict. Let's consider transcending duality. Have you ever thought that W.A.R thrives on duality, friend versus enemy, correct versus wrong, us versus them, and that nothingness transcends duality by rejecting these rigid, divisive categories? Once we see beyond duality, we will no longer be susceptible to the paradigm of you are right and I am wrong. Can you embrace impermanence so that the image fades away? Much of human conflict arises from attachment to power, land, beliefs, or even identity. Nothingness aligns with the understanding of impermanence, recognizing that everything in existence is transient and ever-changing. This understanding leads to a lighter grip on life's battles. When we internalize the truth of impermanence, we can let go of attachments that might otherwise lead to conflict. We have been locked too long in the belief of permanence. It is time to release it. When one looks into nothingness, attempting to understand that which the mind cannot conceive, vulnerability surfaces for most through the vehicle of our imagination. I am sure of an openness that is often feared but holds the potential for profound healing, yet we ask, what is nothingness, and how can there be an antidote for something that cannot be taken or prescribed? Just know that when you are ready, you will take the voyage into nothingness, and then you will know, not through being told, but by experiencing the unimaginable. W.A.R is rooted in a need to protect and defend. This is the makings of the mind. Nothingness, however, invites surrender, discovering one's vulnerability and the willingness to question others that quickly state matters of fact. In embracing our shared vulnerability, we foster empathy and interconnection instead of alienation and antagonism, so much so that we are willing to trust ourselves and others who find themselves on the path. Nothingness is completed potential. One must understand it beyond being a word in the lexicon. Once you apply words to do so, it ceases to be nothingness. Remember this. In these ways, nothingness is not merely a detachment but an antidote to W.A.R by dissolving the roots of conflict and creating the conditions for genuine peace. It redefines power as something internal and harmonious rather than forceful or oppressive, suggesting that the ultimate triumph over W.A.R comes not through fighting but through relinquishing the need for it entirely. We tend to declare problems without solutions. We search for therapists, messiahs, politicians, teachers, and so forth, but truth be told, we do not want the solution to what we perceive as the problem. Time seems to be an issue, and we believe that because we choose to subscribe to this path, we do not give resolution enough attention, it just takes up too much of our time. So we come and ask, what is the answer? It is a simple answer. You must merge into the solution by never believing in that which you do not know. You are the truth of all things that are, and without you, there is no truth, problem, or solution. You are on perhaps one of the most liberating journeys taken. Please be aware of this. I have felt and experienced all of the challenges within the warring mind. For decades, I have tried to be in the now present to assist me with the troubling past. I have read, studied, prayed, meditated, and convinced myself that I had overcome the internal war. While witnessing for the first time my psychological scarring, I was strongly considering the process of compartmentalization. It appeared to have some benefits in the beginning, shielding me from the mental scarring, but somehow I would always return to being enveloped in the confusion and pain that had been driving me towards death instead of life. In compartmentalizing my suffering, I was only storing it up momentarily in another space of my mind. There were moments when I truly believed that I had done so, only returning, searching for those familiar states. And why? I am not a guru who sat under a tree for days, not one who entered a cave for months, nor one who went up into the mountains and stayed until I was enlightened. I was you, who might be looking, not knowing that the seer is always there to help when you are ready. You must not mask the shame you have imposed. Let the truth of your doings become known without judgment. Do not lie to yourself anymore. See yourself smiling as you witness the past you, by choice that once lived your experience. Do not quickly run to anyone for resolution. You are the creator of your inner life and your memories. Treat yourself to moments of pause, and they will create distance between what was thought to be and nothingness. Be alive in your thinking, for far too long being unlived has been the course taken. Now something not named will come forth, watch it as it does. Embrace who you are, wear your truth proudly, see it with a smile, and let go of the need for others' approval. Until next time, stay true to yourself, and may you find peace on your journey to inner harmony.
In the war room, we don't just plan, we execute. Today's strategies are your weapons to conquer chaos, seize control, and design a life of mastery. Remember, the battles of life aren't won by chance, they're won by preparation, discipline, and relentless action. As you leave the room today, take this with you: mastery isn't a destination, it's a commitment to showing up, leveling up, and never backing down. The war room is here to guide you, but the fight is yours to win. Until next time, warriors, stay focused, stay disciplined, and dominate your mission. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to join this journey of self-discovery. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Where are you in your W.A.R? Let's figure this out together.
If our time together has inspired you to turn away from personas and move toward true discovery, we'd love for you to subscribe, comment, and share. Let's embrace life fully right here, right now.